iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. And what I'm going to try to do over the next 2 days, okay, in today's podcast and tomorrow's podcast, I will try to give you the list of players that I think will be playing this weekend and who you can use in your seasonal and DFS lineups. Now, this is not 100% foolproof. It's not. But I'm going to try to do my best to walk you through the players who I see playing or not playing. This way, now there may be reports, it may change, who knows, this is a disaster. Once again, I can't say this enough, I can't impress this upon you enough. You should not be playing Week 17 championships. It's just rookie. It's rookie. And I expect more from you guys. All right? I get that you love it. I get that you love fantasy football. I love it too. Love it for playoff fantasy football. But for your regular season to end on whether E.J. Manuel plays or not, that's just ridiculous. Okay? So I'm going to break this down into AFC and NFC. Today I'm going to do the AFC. Tomorrow I'll do the NFC. Once again, please, this is not gospel. This is just my impressions right now, midweek. And like I said, this may change. If it changes, please contact me at scoutfantasy.com. If you're a member, and you should be, enter promo code ROTO, R-O-T-O if you're not. Pay for 1 month, get 2 more for free. And what we're going to do, I'll be in the message boards this weekend. I will answer your question. Adam Ronis will answer your question. Sean Childs will answer your question. Right? I can't think of 3 better guys to answer your questions to win your leagues. Okay? So first in the AFC, let's start with the Baltimore Ravens. I would expect that we see more Kenneth Dixon than Terrence West. If I'm John Harbaugh, I really want to know exactly what I have with Dixon, and I want to see if I can give him 20 carries. I want to see what he looks like over the course of an entire game. I know what I have with Terrence West. I don't know what I have with Dixon. I think I know what I have with Dixon, but I want to see if he can give me a full game. Next, Steve Smith is now 89% sure he's done, right? I mean, whatever he says, 89% done. He's crazy. Now he said it'll be his last game. Okay, I don't know. He says he's not, but I think they're going to get him the football so much. I could not imagine in DFS not playing Steve Smith. Right, he needs 237 yards to pass Tim Brown for 6th most all time. I don't know if he can get that. But I think he gets close to it. And if he gets close to that, I want him on my team in any format I can do. Okay? For the Buffalo Bills, we know we're going to see E.J. Manuel. We know he's going to be the quarterback. E.J. Manuel will not be back with the Bills next year. There's no way. They'll have Tyrod Taylor. They'll have Cardale Jones. Cardale Jones is E.J. Manuel. He's just got a different name. Okay? Same type of guy. But I think, would I play E.J. Manuel? No. I don't trust anybody else here. I know Sammy Watkins may want to play. Don't trust it. Don't trust McCoy. I think this is a great opportunity to see what Jonathan Williams can do. Anthony Lynn is there. There's no Rex Ryan. I don't know what's going on. I'm not trusting anybody on the Bills, and I hope you don't either. Okay? For the Cincinnati Bengals, we know we're not seeing A.J. Green. That's done. We know we're not seeing Tyler Eifert. I think that this kid, Cody Core, has been out in the field a ton. C.J. Ozuma has been there a lot. And Rex Burkhead. I don't think there's any reason to run Jeremy Hill either. I wouldn't start any of these guys in any league. But if you watch, I think Tyler Boyd and Cody Core are interesting players. Okay? Next, for Cleveland. I believe we're going to see Cody Kessler and not RG3. Okay? I think that's going to happen. At running back, I do think we're going to see Isaiah Crowell be more involved. Now, if he's got 800 yards on the year, I think they're going to try to get that up there. They're going to try to get him 100 yards. Watch that closely. At receiver, I'd be surprised if they don't shut down Terrell Pryor. I like Corey Coleman to get a lot of catches this week. I think Coleman's a very interesting player. So he's a guy I've got my eye on. Right now, Denver has said that they're going to play both Simeon and Lynch. Yeah, I don't know what to expect there. I just wouldn't touch this entire team. Neither of these guys make me happy as a fantasy owner. I don't think we're going to get a lot from either of them. Okay? I don't think we're going to get a lot from either of them. All right, for the Houston Texans, I do think Tom Savage is an interesting start. Why? Because you need to make sure he's ready to be in a playoff game. So I know he played last week, but you can't bench Tom Savage. He needs the reps. So I think Alfred Blue is a terrific start because I think Lamar Miller doesn't play. I think Hopkins and Fuller play because I think they have to start to develop a rapport with Tom Savage. So I think those guys are in play, and I think Hopkins will be one of the better receivers in play. Okay? For Indianapolis, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do. That's a team I want to watch closely. I mean, I think we'll see Jack Doyle. I think we'll see Eric Swoop. I guess T.Y. Hilton plays. I don't feel good about it. I think Frank Gore gets a reduction in carries. Maybe they see a little Josh Ferguson, a little Turbin, a little Todman. Before the season's over, know who you have there. So that's what I'd be watching. Blake Bortles is playing for his life. Blake Bortles is playing for his life. And I think Allen Robinson's playing for pride. So I have no problem with Allen Robinson this week. I think he's interesting. I think Doug Marrone is playing for a job here. Doug Marrone was a guy who was very stupid when he quit the Bills because he thought he was going to get hired somewhere. Nobody hired him, but I think somebody's going to want Doug Marrone. And if he could show that Blake Bortles and Allen Robinson can have another good game, it wouldn't shock me if he ended up somewhere next year. So let's keep that on hold. I like them to play a little bit. And I know Denard Robinson says that he's going to be back. I wouldn't touch it. The only two guys I want to touch are Bortles and Robinson in that one. Kansas City, they're playing for something. They're playing for something important here. So I think Alex Smith, I think everybody's in play. Jeremy Maclin, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. I'm all in on the Chiefs. I think we got to play with them. Play with the Chiefs there. Spencer Ware, I think, plays them more. I like Charkandrick West a little bit more if Ware is not 100% healthy. For the Miami Dolphins, they're saying the right things, but I just don't know how we see Ajayi. I don't know. I know he's practicing, but I just don't think it makes sense. I don't think it makes sense to play this guy. This guy's not 100%, and his shoulder looked really bad. It looked really bad. It's a sprained AC joint. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense to me. I think that Damian Williams makes sense to me, and Kenyon Drake makes sense to me. Does it make a difference if I'm the 5 or 6 seed? I guess it does because I'd rather play the Texans than the Steelers. So for that matter, yes, but I don't know if I'm risking Ajayi. I definitely want to see Matt Moore connect with Landry and Parker and Stills, and Deion Sims I think is an interesting play, so I'm fine there. For New England, look, you're going to see Tom Brady, and the question is, when does this game get out of hand? I think it does get out of hand, and then you see Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think you see a lot of Deion Lewis. I think you see a little bit more James White this week because I think you want to protect Lewis for the playoffs. They're going to need him to have a good playoff run. I think Michael Floyd gets out there a little bit this week. Not that I like him, but I think they want to see how he's learned the offense and can he do a good job with this offense. So I think he's an interesting play. For the Jets are a mess. Okay? Ryan Fitzpatrick is the quarterback. Geno and Bryce Petty are on the IR. Christian Hackenberg sucks. The only way we see Hackenberg is if Fitzpatrick gets lit up. I do like Bilal Powell a little bit. I like Robbie Anderson. I like Quincy Enunwa, but I don't really want to play any of these guys. These guys stink. Okay? I will play Matt McGloin. I think Matt McGloin is not a bad little quarterback here. And I think that he has to get on the same page with his receivers before the playoffs. So you're going to see McGloin with Cooper and Crabtree and Latavius Murray and Jalen Richard, and these guys are going to play. So I think McGloin is a very interesting play because he will have to do a lot to be successful. And if they want to win, which they do, right? Want to be the number 2 seed. You need that bye week to really work harder, right? You need to beat the Broncos so that you can get the bye week so you can practice more. For the Steelers, man, I wouldn't touch anybody on this team. I might look at D'Angelo Williams, but it could be Fitzgerald Toussaint. But maybe Kobe Hamilton? I mean, maybe Landry Jones throws to Kobe Hamilton? I mean, is that what you're going to play in DFS? I don't think so. But for San Diego, I really like Phillip Rivers. I think Phillip Rivers is very interesting. I think Ronnie Hillman plays. I think Antonio Gates is almost a must play. I can't imagine that they don't want to get him a touchdown. Yes, Williams and Inman and Benjamin, but I think this is a Rivers to Gates day. And I know that Kansas City has a good defense. I get it. But I think these guys want to see Gates do well. They like Gates. And I think Gates gets his touchdown. I do. I think he gets his touchdown. For Tennessee, Matt Castle starting. I think we see a lot of Derrick Henry. I think we see a lot of Tajay Sharp. And I think we see a lot of Rashard Matthews. It really won't matter because none of these guys are doing anything moving on, but I want to see the young guys, especially Henry. I know DeMarco Murray is going to want to play, but I don't think we see a lot of DeMarco Murray. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But, when I say things don't make sense, who am I to tell you this, right? The NFL sometimes doesn't make sense, right? So you see here, LaShawn McCoy didn't practice. Is he going to play this week? I don't think so, but I think Mike Gillislee does, and if Mike Gillislee does, I'm absolutely playing him. I don't think Sammy Watkins plays, but maybe he does. Maybe he plays for a half, right? I don't think Lamar Miller plays. I told you that. So, Melvin Gordon says he's returning to practice, but what is he doing it? Because he wants to get 100 yards, 1,000 yards rushing? So I bring him in for a quarter, and what? What does it really mean? So I think there are so many ways to go about this that I think it's kind of scary, okay? So I do want to report there that I just want to give some good news here. So the first female fantasy football world champion of any high-stakes fantasy contest won in epic fashion Monday night. Kimra Schleicher, longtime high-stakes fantasy player from Indiana, and the 7th-ranked world player, won by .77 fantasy points on that last Golden Tate reception. She was down 19 points heading into Monday Night Football with only Tate and the Dallas Cowboys defense to go, right? And after that game, a slow game, the sack fumble put her within a point, and Dallas was going to run out the clock, but the Lions got the ball back. And even though they probably should have pulled their starters, right, they did a bubble screen to Golden Tate, and Kimmer wins $150,000 and the title of world champion. Okay? The results are not official yet. There could be a stat change. It's possible. But could you imagine you're Mark Mitchell and you lose on that last play? Mark's a great guy. We really like him at Scout Fantasy, but man, that is a tough loss. But we really want to congratulate Kimmer Schleicher on being not only the World Fantasy Football World Champion, but the first female Fantasy Football World Champion. And, I don't mean to sound surprised, but I think this goes to show that women really are playing fantasy football. Now, maybe some of them don't play high-stakes leagues, but I know I have a lot of female followers, on Twitter, and a lot of people who've joined Scout Fantasy, and they love fantasy football. So fantasy football is not just for guys, right? It's for women. It's for children. It's for families. I love when I hear that, hey, I'm playing my wife this weekend. I lost my father-in-law, whatever it is. I think that's really great stuff. And it shows that, fantasy football keeps people together. I know that a group of kids I taught years ago, they started playing in middle school. They're all like in their mid-20s now, and they still play fantasy football together every year. And they talk trash, and they love it, and they enjoy each other's time and company, and I think it's great. I truly think it's great. And it just goes to show, unlike anything else we do, fantasy is a game that bonds people. And just throughout the years, the friends that I've made in fantasy, and these aren't just fantasy friends. These are friends, right? People who I've met through fantasy. Listener number 1, Chad. How about, Bill Mandel? How about Chris Brummel? How about, Kick? My man Kickman, Tom Kicker. These are guys that I've known now for years. Some of them for years who we've developed friendships. Truck, right? My man Truck. So it just goes to show that fantasy can create friendships. And it's such a big part of who we are at Scout Fantasy and what we do. And if you want to be part of what we do at Scout Fantasy, please check out scoutfantasy.com. And I'm really excited to tell you about something that's on its way. And I don't even know if I should be doing this. I might get yelled at, okay? This podcast goes out, I may get a phone call, but it's worth it. We're working on a Scout Optimizer. That's right. Scout Optimizer should be coming out after the new year to certainly help with DFS for basketball. And you know what? I'm really excited about it. And then we're going to have it for baseball. And then we'll have it for football. And we will have an optimizer. And that's going to give you guys another great tool for your leagues. Right? So we're really excited about what we're bringing to you at Scout Fantasy. Okay? But right now, it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. Now, once again, I'll be back tomorrow, and I'm going to break down the NFC. Hopefully, I'll have more information. If I have more information on the AFC, I'll give it to you. But more information from the NFC, who's going to play, who's not going to play, who are the guys we need. I will get that info for you if you're playing Week 17, certainly in your seasonal leagues, but also if you're playing in DFS. Come on, man. This is one of our last weeks to make some big-time money. Right? We got to pay back some of those Christmas presents, some of those bills we have, right, from the holidays. We're going to try to do that. But I wish you guys a great day. Be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!